Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2022-23 season. My name is Dan and today we are back with a Gameweek 7 100 Experts video. The video where we have a look at the expert trends, what the expert FPL managers are up to, who are they transferring in, who are they transferring out, who are they captaining, are they using any chips, and all of that information to try and help us find some trends to make our own decision. Now we haven't made this video in a little while, so it is back. If you are enjoying these 100 Experts videos or you want to have more of these 100 Expert videos every week, do make sure you're liking the video so I know that you guys do like this video, and do also subscribe as well if you're new around here. It all helps out the channel so much. Without further ado, guys, let's meet the experts. So here they are, all 100 FPL experts, pundits, content creators, veterans, everyone who is good at FPL basically. 100 of them have helped me out with this video with their data of what they're up to in Game Week 7. So if you see any of these names around, do go check them out. They are very much people who can be trusted with your FPL fate, I suppose. So let's see what they're up to. Well, 41% of them are making one transfer, 19% of them are making two transfers, 2% of them are making three transfers, just 28% not making a transfer at all this week, although maybe that is quite a lot, you know, almost, well, just over a quarter, just under a third, not making any transfers this week. Maybe that suggests that you can potentially afford to roll the transfer if you can't think of a great move. But the interesting one this week, I think, is 10% are actually using their wild card this week as well. So typically, the last few times we've made these 100 expert videos, we've seen kind of maybe 2%, maybe 3% of people using the wild card, but now we're all the way up to 10%. So this has been, so far this season, the most popular week to wild card among these FPL experts. So yeah, if you're thinking about wildcarding, maybe now's the time, but I do think in Game Week 8 and 9 we will see much higher percentage of our experts using the wildcard. But I think we're entering into a wildcard season, which is reflected in that 10%. So as we always do in these 100 expert videos, we're going to first of all have a look at the most popular Game Week 7 transfers in the world. So this is not among our 100 experts, this is all 10 million FPL players in the world. Who is the most popular players? Well, we've got Rashford up there, Trippier as well, Tony, and then after that there's kind of a bunch of different types of players there. We've got McAllister, we've got Anthony there, Pascal Gross. So yeah, mostly seems to be in the kind of midfield positions, quite a lot of midfielders in there, and a few forwards as well. Obviously you can see that Tony is there, Mitrovic is there, and Haaland as well. Some people still slowly getting him into their team. And you know, just the one defender in Trippier. So kind of strange. The only defender anyone's interested this week is Trippier, apparently, among all FPL players. Anyway, but let's see if there's any kind of semblance of this in our 100 expert data. Is there any crossover? And I think there is quite a lot of crossover. In fact, we've got a few players here: Rashford, Trippier, Tony, McAllister, Gross, Mitrovic, and Haaland all have a decent amount of interest among our 100 experts as well. A lot of people going for some of these players, maybe not in the same order as this, and maybe, you know, like for example, you're going to see in a minute, but Rashford is not the most popular player among our experts, and there is actually a player who's very popular among experts who isn't even on this list in front of you here. So the most popular transfers in the world aren't always a perfect example of which players you should be bringing in. Usually they do show a trend overall, but often the experts have one or two players that maybe the casual player is not quite in tune with, I suppose. McAllister actually kind of surprised me that so many experts are going for him, but you know, there was only a couple of people going for McAllister, so maybe not crazy. But there are a few players on here that there is no expert interest whatsoever. 0 transfers in for Anthony and Luis Diaz, and I'm sorry that I have to talk about Anthony again. It seems like every time I mention that maybe Anthony is not the best pick in the world for FPL, people hate it. People hate it in the comments. It really is crazy. I've never heard of a player who has been so defended in FPL. It really is quite crazy. But yes, 0 out of our 100 experts are going for Anthony this week. So look, he's 5th most popular overall. 0 of our experts. You know, 100 experts is a decent number. Yeah, it probably suggests that maybe he's not the best player to go for right now. Luis Diaz, similar situation. Liverpool have got Wolves next, and then after that, they've got some kind of difficult fixtures after that. So some people even thinking of selling Luis Diaz this week. So definitely not really a player we want to be buying this week. But let's move on to see what our experts are actually doing. Okay, so popular transfers out. Kyle Walker is top. He's the most popular transfer out, probably because the fact he is kind of slightly injured. You know, he's got a knock. We're not sure if he's going to be available for Game Week 7 or not. So that kind of makes sense that he'd be the most popular transfer out, I suppose, as he's kind of heavily owned and injured. But aside from that, which is pretty obvious, we have got some less obvious players. Like I said, I did just mention Luis Diaz already, but I do want to give a special shout out to Archer. Now, Archer is a 4.4 million and forward. Some of you guys may know who he is already. But what's very interesting about this is that a lot of people are selling Archer in order to upgrade him to so they have 3 playing forwards, because the forwards have been doing quite well recently, haven't they, guys? So yeah, people are removing Archer and upgrading him and downgrading other areas of their team. You know, maybe that's a Luis Diaz they're downgrading, maybe that's a Gundogan they're downgrading, maybe like it's a Robertson that they're downgrading, but other areas of their pitch are being downgraded, so Archer can be upgraded to some of those forwards, and we'll talk about in a minute some of those forwards. But yeah, a few other players in here. Luis Diaz, kind of, you know, interesting. A few people who had Gundogan already, they are shifting him on. So interesting. Not many people have Gundogan, and yet they all seem to be losing him. Perisic, you know, bad fixtures coming up, expected to be rotated a little bit with this, with the Champions League now in play. Just a few sales for Salah, so maybe it isn't quite time to sell Salah, as I alluded to yesterday. You know, I was quite, you know, I tried to present an argument of why Salah could be potentially a sell, but it seems like only a few of our experts are actually selling him, and then some other random players at the bottom there. A few people doing Kane to Haaland, for example, puts Kane in the sells as well. So there you go. Those are the transfers out for our experts. In terms of transfers in, we've got Trippier at the top. Yes, this kind of surprised me. Like, there wasn't actually as much trends this week as I thought there would be. Like, there are clearly a few players that are popular among our experts this week, and Trippier does seem to be the #1 player to bring in. I wonder if that has been kind of been forced in a way because of Walker's injury. And, you know, Trippier is a very obvious replacement. So there you go, guys. Trippier, very nice player for you to go for. He's pretty popular overall. Seems to be a real consensus that Trippier is just a good player to go for right now. So I don't have any problem with bringing him in. I've got some other interesting players in here. I want to give a shout out to Trossard, who is not among the most popular transfers in the world, but our experts do seem to like the look of Trossard this game week. So yeah, I definitely agree with him. He's definitely a player I've looked at getting in myself for game week. Game week 7, even though Graham Potter might have left the club, might have left Brighton by the time you watch this video. Yeah, we'll see. But Trossard has been playing very, very well indeed, and we know we've got a really good fixture as well. Newly promoted teams are always good teams to target. You know, right now we are targeting Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, and Leicester, of course. And you know, if one of your players has an attacker, a good attacker, has a fixture against one of those teams, then they're pretty much a good player to go for, really. So that's why you see a few Brighton players in here. So yeah, Tony and Mitrovic, you can see as well as the forward options. Tony slightly more popular than Mitrovic, which kind of surprised me. I actually think I'd prefer Mitrovic personally, but yeah, a few people going for Tony. Rashford is in there as well. Obviously, people still, you know, getting in Gross as well. McAllister's in there. Dunk is in there. So quite a few Brighton players in there, really. A few people trying to get in Haaland. Reece James is becoming popular, and Isak as well. A few people go for Isak. So yeah, there you go. Let's suggest some transfers for you guys to make. Alright, so like I said, the most obvious transfer seems to be Walker out and Trippier in. Like, Walker is the most popular transfer out among our experts. Trippier is the most popular transfer in among our experts. So, you know, if you've got Walker, you need to replace him. Walker to Trippier. Easy transfer for you to make. Easy move. No brain needed, you know, a heads-free kind of transfer, a slam dunk, do that. Perisic to Trippier is also an option for you there as well, if you don't like the look of Perisic's fixtures and potential rotation. We've got Archer up to Tony / Mitrovic. As I said earlier, if you're going to make that transfer move, you probably are going to have to downgrade someone else elsewhere in your team. It's probably going to take you 2 transfers to make this upgrade, but it certainly is a very good upgrade to make. Like, Tony and Mitrovic have been doing very well, far more reliable than a lot of our defenders, than a lot of our midfielders, and these, you know, I'm definitely looking to get in one of these, or at least one of these, probably on my wild card. I don't know if I can do it before the wild card, but yeah, they're just really good options to go for. So absolutely thoroughly recommend both of those players. If you can do it in 2 transfers, downgrade one of your midfielders or defenders and upgrade your cheap forward up to a Tony or Mitrovic. Easy peasy. In terms of the midfielders, the most popular midfielders out are Diaz and Gundogan, but I guess you can replace Diaz and Gundogan with pretty much any midfielder that you're not totally happy with right now, and you can replace them with one of 3 players: Trossard, Rashford, or Gross. They're the 3 most popular midfield transfers in among our experts this week, so 3 options for you to go for there. Yeah, so midfielders, Trossard, Rashford, Gross seem to be the popular. In terms of forwards, Mitrovic and Tony. Defenders, it's pretty much just Trippier, but Lewis Dunk, a few people transferring him as well. And finally, if you're going for a goalkeeper, there was some people going for Pope as well for a goalkeeper. But, you know, maybe you're not going to make a goalkeeper transfer. So there you go. There's some just suggested transfers for you guys. Let's have a look at some captaincy decisions for us to make this week. What do you think is going to be? Who do you think is going to be number one? Well, I mean, it could only be one person, really, couldn't it? So Erling Haaland is once again at the top of our expert captain picks. 48% going for Erling Haaland with the captaincy, which is, to be fair, under 50%. So it's by no means a slam dunk. It's by no means like an obvious choice by the looks of things, because still 35% going for Salah against Wolves. Home game, you know, a lot of people do have a lot of faith in Liverpool in their home game, so maybe that's quite a nice one to go for. But yeah, Haaland is the most popular. Salah is among there as well. Jesus, kind of interesting, 5%. Everton at home, you can kind of see that could be one to go for maybe. Trent against Wolves. We know Wolves, although they don't concede a lot of goals, they don't score very many either. So Trent for a clean sheet looks pretty good, actually. Trent, very likely to get a clean sheet. So, yeah, you can see why a few people are going for him. And it's only going to take like an assist or something like that and a clean sheet. 3 bonus points, and suddenly you're looking at a really nice haul from Trent. So maybe a few people trying to go for that one. And finally, Trossard. Did you see that one come in? Trossard against Bournemouth. 3% of our 100 experts are going for Trossard as their captain. And you'll notice, guys, that this does not add up to 100%. There are a few people going for various other captains. We saw players like, who did we see? Martinelli. Someone's going for Martinelli. I think one person was going for Luis Diaz. There was just a bunch of other players that just had 1% each. And it's not a trend. And I think the key takeaway from these videos has to be trends. We have to find trends. If one random person is doing something, it doesn't necessarily mean that's a good move. But if we see a lot of people doing the same thing, it's probably because that's a good move. So, yeah, again, it's going to be a captain decision between Haaland and Salah. If you really want to go differential, at least there is a little bit of a trend with Jesus, Trent, or Trossard. Aside from that, it's pretty much a jungle out there. So yeah, I would choose one of these guys. The 2 top players are the sensible picks. If you don't want to make a decision, or you can't bring yourself to make a decision, just go default, go Haaland. 48% is a decent number. It's a decent amount of experts all doing the same thing, which probably suggests that that's the right move. But don't discount Salah. That's all I'm going to say. Don't discount Salah. And there we have it, guys. That is the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe if you're new around here and you do enjoy these 100 experts videos. And we'll make sure we're trying to do as many of these as possible. It has been kind of difficult the last couple of weeks just because of the time. It's just not really been enough time. Do go check out Fantasy Football Hub, who have been helping so much with so much data for these videos and for this channel. So they've been a real good supporter for this channel, and I would appreciate if you went and show them some love as well. And their tools are amazing. So like you gain so much from it. You really do. We're going to be doing my team selection video tomorrow. A few of you have asked for a wild card draft as well. I'm going to do that on Friday. And then it will be deadline time, deadline stream, and all that good fun stuff like that. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on tomorrow's video, and I'll see you later, mates. Bye-bye.